Hello everyone, and welcome back to the world of Thetis. Thanks for joining me on this adventure. We just finished a Sloth demon. We killed the Sloth demon that was, controlling um, these mages and turning them into these beasts. We just defeated him, which is good, which means that now we can go and get the rest of the mages here in the tower. But before we do that, if we open our codex, we found a lot of different codex entries um, in the previous episode. So we're just going to quickly read through those before we get further on. So first thing in our codex is the ghouls. So we did fight a few ghouls recently. Um, what the blight does not destroy, it corrupts. Any creature infected with the darkspawn taint that does not have the good fortune to die outright becomes a ghoul, a twisted shadow of itself. The name originally comes from men, whether human, dwarven, or elven, who become tainted, usually while being held as a captive food source by the darkspawn. They would turn cannibal, preying on their captives, slaves, to the will of the archdemon, driven mad by pain. During the blight, the corruption of the darkspawn spreads through the wilder areas of Thetis and infects the animals found there. This produces grotesque, enraged bears called bearskarn, as well as blight wolves. Fortunately, ghouls rarely survive their corruption for long. Interesting. So ghouls are basically just any creature that is infected by the darkspawn but doesn't die from it. Over time, it will become tainted. Like, for example, the bears, the bearskarn, um, and blight wolves, which last episode we actually fought a blight wolf, so that I'm familiar with. Golems, this is a new entry. Golems are pretty cool because I actually played as a golem last episode. It transformed into a golem. Um, so once a crucial part of Orzammar's defenses, golems have all but vanished as the secret to their manufacture was lost over 1,000 years ago. What few golems remain are guarded closely by the Shepheret. Shaperate? Brought out when the battle with Darkspawn grows desperate enough to risk their loss. No one now would sell a golem for any price, but in ancient times, dwarves sold many golems to the Magister Lords of Tevinter. They are devastating weapons in war, living siege engines, capable of hurling boulders like a catapult or plowing through enemy lines like an earthquake. That's pretty cool. The golems were pretty cool to see. Also, on a side note, I mentioned this before. I am actually reading The Stolen Throne currently, on the side, which is a prequel book to these games. And I'm reading this book in my spare time just to understand the lore better. And I already read a portion where golems were fighting in a battle. Um, so it's really cool to see them here in the game as well. And then we have Sloth demons. That's literally what we just defeated last episode. So, Sloth demon. And I looked at the creature and it had become me. A veritable copy of my form, of my very mind, stared back at me as if from within a mirror. I thought surely that this was a trick, an illusion meant to put off my guard. But as I engaged the thing with my sword, it fought me with maneuvers that I recognized. It parried as I parried. It swung as I swung. It spoke to me and said things that only I could know. I I think this demon of sloth has no form or identity of its own. It is envy as much as sloth, I believe, and mine was not the first shape it stole that day. An excerpt from a transcribed deposition of Tyrannus, Templar commander of Cumberland, 390 Towers age. Interesting. So this sloth demon just copied this guy, like looked at him and copied him. The most difficult assumption for some who study demons to overcome is the notion that a sloth demon is, in and of itself, slothful. If that were so, it seems highly unlikely that any such demons would cross the veil into our own world, or once here would fight to possess any creature with a will of its own. And we know both these things to not be the case. Certainly, some demons are lazy and complacent, but who knows? Perhaps these creatures even cultivate such a reputation. It's interesting. So it's like saying sloth demons aren't exactly lazy themselves. The truth is that demons of sloth are named so because this is the portion of the human psyche that they feed upon. Doubt, apathy, entropy, they seek to spread these things. The sloth demon hides in its forms, a master of shapes and disguises, always in the last place you look, and from its hiding place it spreads its influence. A community afflicted by a demon of sloth could soon become a dilapidated pit, where injustices are allowed to pass without comment, and none of the residents could be aware that such a change has ever taken place. The sloth demon weakens, tires, tears at the edges of consciousness, and would much rather render its victim helpless than engage in a true conflict. Such creatures are best faced only with a great deal of will, and only with an eye to piercing their many disguises. Wow. So the big lesson there is that sloth demons are not actually slothful themselves. They prey upon the slothfulness of humans, or creatures, I guess. Not just humans, but elves and dwarves and so on. So that's interesting. So that's just kind of making sure that we're aware that sloth demons aren't slothful themselves, or they wouldn't cross the barrier from the fade in the first place because they wouldn't care. Or they wouldn't fight against humans that actually are fighting them back. Um, And then wisps. We actually did fight a wisp in the previous episode, or a few wisps, but I don't know if that actually made it into the episode because there was just so much. It was like a 2 hour long episode, and I was lost for the large majority of the time, so I decided to just cut that part out and just keep the... But anyway, okay, so wisps. A great deal is made of the most powerful demons, those that create abominations, and those that have changed the history of Thetis. It is often forgotten that not all demons are such awe-inspiring beings. Some that break through the cracks in the veil into our world are known as wisps, a sliver of a thought that once was. A wisp is a demon that has lost its power. Either it has existed in our world for too long without finding a true host, or it has been destroyed, often, so we found, by other demons. What remains of its mind clings tightly to the one concept that created it, a hatred of all things living. While its ability to target a living creature is limited, these wisps often mindlessly attack when encountered in the Fade. In the living world, they often have been known to maliciously lure the living into dangerous areas, being mistaken for lanterns or other civilized light sources. This does, however, seem to be the very limit of their cunning. From the journal of former senior enchanter Malleus, once of the Circle of Ravane, declared apostate in 920 Dragon Age. Okay, interesting. So wisps are just like creatures that lost their power. They've been too long in the world without taking host of a body, or they were destroyed by their demons. That's very interesting. So they're sort of weaker forms of demons that once were. That's really cool. Items. This is the Litany of Andralla. I actually picked this item up from a dying knight, I believe, on the previous episode. So, Andralla of Vrantium dedicated her life to the study of blood magic, the academic study, rather than the practice. A deeply pious mage, she was renowned in her day for having found a counter to every form of mind control, a defense against dreamwalkers, and even counter spells to demonic summons. Okay, so she studied blood magic extensively, but she didn't practice it. She just studied like how to counter it. Her efforts were unappreciated in her native Tevinter, however. After 3 different magisters attempted to have her killed, she fled the country, choosing to take refuge in the land of blessed Andraste's birth. She spent the remainder of her days with the Circle in Ferelden. Oh, okay. The Litany of Andralla disrupts the casting of mind control spells. Use the Litany whenever a creature tries to dominate another with magic, and it will interrupt the casting. Once the spell is in effect and a character is under a blood mage's power, it is too late. Oh goodness. So this is so I can use that item to like interrupt spells. Okay. All right, magic and religion, the Black City. So the Black City, I found this in the previous episode when we were wandering through the Fade. We were inside the Fade, we found this book about the Black City. No traveler to the Fade can fail to spot the Black City. It is one of the few constants of that ever-changing place. No matter where one might be, the city is visible, always far off, for it seems that the only rule of geography in the Fade is that all points are equidistant from the Black City. Yeah, I remember there being like sort of off in the background, like far in the distance, there was like an island that was floating out in space, um, and it was like kind of blurred and it's hard to see. But I believe that's what they're talking about here. The chant teaches that the Black City was once the seat of the Maker. Whoa! From whence he ruled the Fade, left empty when men turned away from him. Dreamers do not go there, nor do spirits. Even the most powerful demons seem to avoid the place. The literal Maker lived there. That's insane. It was golden and beautiful once, so the stories go, until a group of powerful Magister Lords from the Tevinter Imperium devised a means of breaking in. When they did so, their presence defiled the city, turning it black, which was perhaps the least of their worries. From beyond the veil, spirits and demons by Enchanter Midromel. Okay, so these were Magister Lords from the Tevinter Imperium, so this must have happened a very long time ago. I don't know how long ago, but a very long time ago, they tried to break into heaven. That's amazing. That's why I love this world so much. It's just like mages literally breaking into heaven. Now that's something. That's really something. All right, the history of the circle. The circle being the circle tower that I'm in right now. It is a truth universally acknowledged that nothing is more successful at inspiring a person to mischief as being told not to do something. Unfortunately, the chantry of the Divine Age, which is the first age, had some trouble with obvious truths. Although it did not outlaw magic, quite the contrary, as the chantry relied upon the magic to kindle the eternal flame which burns in every brazier and every chantry, it relegated mages to lighting candles and lamps. Perhaps occasional dusting of rafters and eaves. Interesting. So the chantry actually it's basically was against the law to practice magic, except oh, by the way, mages, you can keep our lights on though. Use your magic to keep our lights going, but yeah, you can't use your magic otherwise. Like, come on, dude. All right. It will give my readers a moment to contemplate how well such a role satisfied the mages of the time. Probably not much. It surprised absolutely no one when the mages of Val Royeaux, in protest, snuffed the sacred flames of the cathedral and barricaded themselves inside the choir loft. No one, that is, but divine Ambrosia II, who was outraged and attempted to order an exalted march upon her own cathedral. Even her most devout Templars discouraged that idea. For 21 days, the fires remained unlit while negotiations were conducted, legend tells us, by shouting back and forth from the loft. The mages went cheerily into exile in a remote fortress outside of the capital, where they would be kept under the watchful eye of the Templars and a council of their own elder magi. Outside of normal society and outside of the chantry, the mages would form their own closed society, the Circle, separated for the first time in human history. From the Fires, Circles, and Templars, A History of Magic in the Chantry by Sister Petrine, Chantry Scholar. There we go with Sister Petrine on the lore. She knows everything. Okay, so that's how the Circle was formed. It was basically mages a long time ago got fed up. They're like, no, we're not going to just keep your lights going. We're gonna revolt. And so they decided to exile themselves to a tower and live there. They're still under the watchful eye of the Templars, but yeah, that's what they do. Okay, Maleficarum. Now, we have talked about Maleficarum before. I believe that is a person that it practices blood magic. Um, but let's see, Maleficarum. It has been asked, what are Maleficarum? How shall we know them? I have been as troubled by this question as you. You have come to me for the wisdom of the Maker, but none have seen the Maker's heart save beloved Andraste, and so I have done as all mortals must, and looked to the words of his prophet for answers, and there I found respite from a troubled mind. For she has said to us, magic exists to serve man, and never to rule over him. Therefore, I say to you, they who work magic which dominates the minds and hearts of others, they have transgressed the Maker's law. Interesting. So basically, the Bible, well, not the Bible, but the Chant of Light, so it's called in Dragon Age lore, says magic exists to serve man and never to rule over him. So therefore, using blood magic is a transgression then on that law. It's like breaking a commandment, essentially. Also, Our Lady said to us, those who bring harm without provocation to the least of his children are hated and accursed by the Maker. And so it is made clear to me, as it should be to us all, that magic which fuels itself by harming others by letting of blood is hated by the Maker. Those mages who honor the Maker and keep his laws, we welcome as our brothers and sisters. Those who reject the laws of the Maker and the words of his prophet are apostate. They shall be cast out and given no place among us. From the Sermons of Justinia I. Interesting. Well, there you go. That's what a Maleficarum is. Somebody that breaks the commandments of the Maker. And that is it for our reading. So our reading is done. We've caught up on all the lore and codex entries. Which, by the way, if we look at that again, we've got 22 out of 33. There's still a lot to go in magic and religion, but, you know, we're doing good. And there's a lot in culture and history. So yeah, we're doing good. So let's continue on through our journey here. And if we look at the map, I need to get here. Lost in Dreams, I believe, because if we look at the journal entries, the Broken Circle. Use the Litany of Andralla to save the circle. You took the Litany of Andralla from Niall's body. The Litany will make it much easier for you to battle Uldred and his mages. Niall's sacrifice will not be in vain. Gotcha. Okay, so let's check out some of these rooms, if there's anything good in here. And a Sailor's Charm. Oh my goodness, I am so sick and tired of this. I'm just gonna have to, you know what? I haven't been using these. You know what? Actually, I will. Let me put those on. That'll help me to save. Why does it? That's weird. Why does it do that? Oh, because it's a bolt. Oh, you know what? We don't even use bolts. So let me just put this on then. Let me put ice arrows on, make it a little bit stronger. And that should help. And then here, we'll take the Sailor's Charm and the Silver Ring, and I will put it on. Electricity resistance, and this is just a ring, so I guess I can destroy it because it does take up a lot of inventory space. Does anybody else not have a necklace? Yes, she does not have a necklace, so let's put that on her. Alright, let's go. Alright, we've got some people in there. Actually, do I need to go in here?
There's some kind of trap.
Alright, let's go. Let's fight. Let's do this.
You should run while you can.
Dude, I hate it when it happens. Oh, you know what? I almost forgot. I gotta level up.
Maker!
Go down.
I will not falter!
Let's make this quick.
Let's grab some glory!
I never liked this part.
Okay,
It will
they're
be done.
down. They're done. Archon robes. Who could use the Archon robes? Alright, Archon Rose. There we go. She looks interesting. She looks good. I think that looks pretty good. And I think, yeah, the Chantry robes, that's no even point in even wearing that. That doesn't even give you any bonuses. Chest? Of course, I can't open it. The magic staff. I don't believe I need that. Lesser injury kit. I'll take it. Alright, let's go. Okay, I guess I gotta go this way. If we look at the map here, how do I get over there? I have to come through here, through there, through there. So if I come through here, and then through there, and then around. Okay, so I need to turn around and go through this way, and then out that way. Health poultice, I'll take it for sure. Don't need that. A charred corpse. Ah, the Libertarian's Cowl. So this is from the fraternities. From the fraternities, so that's what that is. And that's a restriction for a mage. So let's put that on one of the mages, which would be Win. There we go. And of course she looks absolutely ridiculous, but we will go with it. We'll go with that. Even though that looks... Aha! A book. The Legend of Galahad Chapter 2. So whenever I get books that say like Chapter 2, I'm just gonna not read those until I get Chapter 1. Whoa!
Yes.
Try to be merciful.
There is no hope for you now.
Wow.
Alright, that's all it is then.
Strike, quickly.
This will not end well.
Wow, that's really cool. I really want to see that codex entry of the creatures. Dragonling. Newly hatched dragons are roughly the size of a deer and voraciously hungry. They live for a short time in their mother's lair before venturing out on their own. The slender, wingless creatures are born in vast numbers, as only a few ever make it to adulthood. Wow, okay, so that means if there's baby dragons around, you know what that means? That means there's a mama dragon around here somewhere. We might be having us a mama dragon to fight. Okay, so let's get rid of the electricity one, I think, and let's put the physical resistance one in here. Okay.
Of course.
Oh no, all at the same time. Down. Just, I'm glad that those explosions don't deal that much damage. My goodness, I gotta level up.
Pay for that!
I promise I'm gonna level up after this fight.
You have forced my hand!
Okay, I'm gonna level up now. Alright, let's level up so I don't forget. Okay, so we have no attribute points. I do have a talent. And I can't put anything in archery, so I guess I'll do this. Combat movement. Stealth. The quick-stepping rogue can more easily outmaneuver opponents, granting wider flanking angles that makes backstabs easier to achieve. I mean, I guess. I don't really use it. I don't use backstabbing. So, stealthy? I guess I'll go stealth. The rogue has learned how to use items while sneaking. Yeah, using items while sneaking, that seems beneficial. even though I don't really use sneaking that much. Oh, and Alistair, can't forget him. So he's got some strength, some constitution. Let's go just all strength. Let's go all strength. And he's good on the combat tactics. I guess we'll go... Or, I mean, he's good on the combat training. Let's go with one in combat tactics. Sure, why not? Now, he could be a Templar, warrior. The Templar purges the area of magic, removing all dispellable effects from those nearby. Friendly fire is possible. We've also got the warrior, precise striking. The warrior tries to make each attack count. This is a sustained ability. Sacrifice attack speed for a bonus to attack, as well as an increased chance to score critical hit. Gotcha. Well, let's actually keep going with the weapon and shield. I think that's probably the best one. Activated, sustained. In this mode, the character's shields becomes nearly a fortress, adding a significant bonus to armor and a greater likelihood of shrugging off missile attacks, but at the cost of reduced damage. I think overpower. The character lashes out with the shield 3 times. The first 2 hits inflict normal damage. The last strike is a critical hit if it connects, knocking the target down unless it passes a physical resistance check. Shield mastery increases. Okay, let's go with that one. Okay, so we're leveled up. Let's unlock this
Allow
guy.
me. I could do that for you.
She says that every time.
On my way.
But she can't do it, so I don't know why she says it. It's like, why say it if you can't? What is the point? What is this? Scrap of paper? Okay. Now, am I going the right way? Nope. I'm going the wrong way. Let's turn around this direction. Nope. Got another corpse. Let's take the fire arrow. I don't use bolts. And in here, we have a vase. Elf fruit. Ooh, an injury kit. Flame rune. And a dagger. The thing is, nobody uses a dagger in my party. I could technically use a dagger as a rogue, but I'm a bow guy. Like, I'm Nightwind Archer, so gotta be an archer for sure.
Of course.
Whoa, 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 whoa. What's this? Ooh, a greater rage. Okay, I'm losing health. Yo, these guys are struggling. He needs some help. Alistair. Let's go with the health poultice. Come on, buddy. You can do it.
We'll be done.
Let's make this quick. I'll try to be
There's lesser pain.
Turn and run!
Gotta keep an eye on. Jesus, man. Okay, so I'm gonna need this. Alistair's also gonna need something. He'll take that. Come on. Oh, thank goodness. That was so close. Oh my god. That was close.
Yes,
Allow
as
me.
you say.
I could do that for you.
No, you can't. Actually, you can't. So please stop saying that. Okay, that one's done. Let's go
Yes.
this way.
I'm not falling asleep again.
What's this?
This trick again? I know what you are. It won't work. I will stay strong.
Are you alright?
The boy is exhausted. And this cage, I've never seen anything like it. Rest easy. Help is here.
Ugh. Enough visions. If anything in you is human, kill me now and stop this game.
He's delirious. He's been tortured and has probably been denied food and water. I can tell. Here, I have a skin of
Don't touch me. Stay away. Filthy blood mages. Getting in my head. I will not break. I'd rather die.
He thinks we're bad, but we're not. We're not bad. Don't be foolish. We're not some kind of illusion.
Silence! I'll not listen to anything you say. Now be gone!
Oh, no.
Still here. But that's always worked before. I close my eyes, but you are still here when I open them.
I don't blame him for being cautious. I mean, when the Darkspawn, the Sloth demon, has control over your like mind, and it's like really hard stuff. I am no trick of the mind, I promise you.
Don't blame me for being cautious. The voices...
I don't blame you, I just said that.
The image is so real. Did Gregor send you? How? How did you get here?
I'm a Grey Warden, and I'm trying to help save the tower.
Good. Kill Uldred. Kill them all for what they've done. They caged us like animals. Looked for ways to break us. I'm the only one left. They turned some into monsters and... oh, there was nothing I could do.
Well, Uldred will pay for what he's done. For what he's done to this tower.
To think, I once felt pity for the Circle. Now I'd like nothing more than to wipe their taint off the face of Thedas.
Wait a second. Look. Not every mage is bad, okay? Mages are dangerous, but not all mages are evil, exactly.
Only mages have that much power at their fingertips. Only mages are so susceptible to the infernal whisperings of the demons.
This is a discussion for another time. Irving and the other mages who fought Uldred, where are they?
They are in the harrowing chamber. The sounds coming up from there. Oh, Maker.
We must hurry. They are in grave danger, I am sure of it.
You can't save them! You don't know what they've become.
And I don't understand. What are you afraid of? No, I know what he's afraid of. We can't just kill them all. And you do?
They've been surrounded by blood mages whose wicked fingers snake into your mind and corrupt your thoughts.
Ew.
His hatred of mages is so intense. The memory of his friends' deaths is still fresh in his mind.
He suffered pain and anguish like few have had to endure. That and his lust for revenge have confused the issue.
Do not presume to judge me, mage. I am thinking clearly.
Hey,
For
watch your
perhaps
tongue,
the first
bro.
time in my life.
What do you propose we do?
To ensure this horror is ended. To guarantee that no abominations or blood mages live. You must kill everyone up there.
Not if they're okay. I mean, if they're all completely infected, then yes, I will absolutely kill them all. But if some are still alive, I don't... You know... I cannot decide on that before seeing what's going on.
That is your choice to make, but I beg you to consider what I have to say. You cannot tell Maleficarum by sight. Just one could influence the mind of a king, of a grand cleric.
Oh boy, he's right. He is right. Oh my god, this last one. I do not fear Maleficarum, they should fear me. That's completely like... Oh, what's the word? I can't think of the word, but it's not very smart. I don't want the blood of innocents on my hands.
I am just willing to see the painful truth, which you are content to ignore. But what can I do? As you can see, I am in no position to directly influence your actions, though I would love to deal with the mages myself.
Alright, perhaps, we will deal with you once Uldred lies dead.
My cage is Uldred's doing, or one of his mages. Once they're dead, I will be free.
Okay. Stay safe, it will be over soon.
No one ever listens. Not until it's far too late. Make her turn his gaze on you. I hope your compassion hasn't doomed us all.
Well, actually, you and me both. I hope so as well. Alright, I assume in here.
As you say.
Oh gosh. What's going on?
Do you accept the gift that I offer?
Jesus. I mean, it's no wonder people are so suspicious of mages. I mean, look at the things that they do. But I mean, it's not all of them. It's just some of them are really make a bad name for mages. Kind of don't blame Cullen or Colin, whatever his name was.
Ah, look what we have here. An intruder. I bid you welcome. Care to join in our revels?
Stop. That's not gonna work. Alright, I think I'll just kill you, if that's alright with you.
Fight, if you must. It will just make my victory all the sweeter.
Don't forget the Litany. It will thwart Uldred's attempts to control the mages and win this fight for us.
Right, the Litany. Oh, crap. Look how huge it is.
Let us end this
Okay,
quickly!
so let's take out some of the smaller ones first.
You are
I'm gonna
forced
have
my
a
hand!
very close eye on health.
Comes to this.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so... No. Cancel. I want to use that.
This will not end well!
You should run while you
Now,
can.
Let's go!
okay, so it's Uldred. Let's focus on him.
Litany.
Gotta keep him on close eye. Okay, he's healed.
That too!
Very well.
Must have
Alright,
victory.
Alistair.
battle it is then.
Careful.
Now you
Okay, so now I'm taking hits.
If I must.
I mean, if he's... Oh, no, I gotta use this. I gotta use that to keep them from being... Ah, God, I missed one, though. Okay.
Very well.
Let's end this.
Oh, gotta use that. Litany again.
This is a waste of time!
Yes.
Enough.
Hitting shot? Is that gonna work? Oh, no. I almost didn't see.
I knew we could not lose!
Work well together.
Oh, codex updated. Alright, let me just loot
Of
this guy
course.
first. Oh, a potent health poultice. Heavy plate armor? Oh, I know who's gonna want that. Mage restriction? Alright, let's get rid of this. Alright, let's see. Let me just really quick, Alistair. He has this really cool armor on, but I mean... Oh, he should have this... Oh, the helmet fits now. Now he looks really cool. But what about this? Oh, strength 30, he's not there yet. His strength is not there yet. But that's really cool. Okay. Alright. First Irving. First Enchanter Irving.
Oh, Maker, I'm too old for this.
Irving, are you all right?
I've been better. But I am thankful to be alive. I suppose that is your doing, isn't it, Win?
I wasn't alone. I had help.
The Circle owes both of you a debt we will never be able to repay. Come. The Templars await. We shall let them know that the tower is once again ours.
Very well. Lead on.
I'll need you to guide me down the stairs. Ugh, curse whoever insisted the circle be housed in a tower.
Irving? Maker's breath. I did not expect to see you alive.
It is over, Gregor. Uldred is dead.
Uldred tortured these mages, hoping to break their wills and turn them into abominations. We don't know how many of them have turned.
What? Don't be ridiculous.
Of course he'll say that. He might be a blood mage. Don't you know what they did? I won't let this happen again.
I am the Knight Commander here, not you.
Well, what does the Knight Commander think then?
We have won back the tower. I will accept Irving's assurance that all is well.
But they may have demons within them, lying dormant, lying in wait.
Enough! I have already made my decision. Thank you. You have proven yourself a friend of both the Circle and the Templars.
You know, I kind of don't blame that guy for being cautious, but I think he's going a little too far. I think we killed the guy that was controlling them, so they're fine now. Yeah. I have resolved your duty here, as you said, so you owe me.
I promised you aid, but with the Circle restored, my duty is to watch the mages. They are free to help you, however. Speak to them.
Actually, this is a good point. I thought the Templars were in charge of the Circle.
The Templars guard and advise, but the First Enchanter has the last word in what happens in the Circle. Please excuse me.
That's
and Irving,
interesting.
it is good to have you back.
I'm sure we'll be at each other's throats again in no time.
Oh my gosh. Alright, perfect. Then let's talk to First Enchanter Irving.
Here we are, the tower in disarray, the circle nearly annihilated. Oh, it could have been much, much worse. I am glad you arrived when you did. It's almost as though the Maker himself sent you.
Yeah, the Blight actually drove me here to seek aid.
The least we can do is help you against the Darkspawn. I would hate to survive this, only to be overcome by the Blight.
So do I have your word then?
You have my word. As First Enchanter, the Circle will join the Grey Wardens in the fight.
Irving, I have a request. I seek leave to follow the Grey Warden.
When we need you here, the Circle needs you.
I appreciate the sentiment, Irving. But the Circle will do fine without me. The Circle has you. This man is brave and good, and capable of great things. If he will accept my help, I will help him accomplish his goals.
Well, it's very kind of her. Thank you for saying that. I would be honored to have you join me, Win. Yeah, I would be honored to have you join me, Win.
You were never one to stay in the tower when there was adventure to be had elsewhere.
Why stay when I can be of service elsewhere?
Then I give you leave to follow the Grey Warden, but know that you always have a place here. There is much to be done here, and I must go. You must forgive me for not being a proper host.
Yeah, that's fine. Aha! But can the Circle go to Redcliffe to save a possessed child?
The child is possessed. But killing the demon would mean killing the... Unless you intend to enter the Fade. Yes, it can be done with a group of mages. I shall gather what mages I can, and we shall leave promptly. A life is at stake.
Oh, goodness. Oh, well, Win approves, +7. Awesome. Awesome, guys. Awesome, awesome, awesome. This is great. So really, two huge things just happened. Number one, we get to get the mages the Circle of Magi. We get them, and we've enlisted their aid to help fight against the Darkspawn and the Coming Dragon, maybe. So that's number one. Number two, we finally got the Magi to. We've enlisted their help to help us with the Connor or the kid, the child that's in Redcliffe. We have to cure him of the possession that has taken over his body. So that's good. We have the Blight is updated. Arl of Redcliffe. Seek the Circle's help to free Connor. Yes, Connor. You spoke with First Enchanter Irving of the Circle of Magi. He was very concerned for Connor's life and said he would gather what mages he could and leave for Redcliffe immediately. Meet the Circle's mages at Castle Redcliffe as soon as you can. That is exactly what we're going to do next. So I imagine that is going to be the next thing that we're going to do. So awesome. This is looking good. All right, so I guess that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you so much for joining me on this adventure. It's been a lot of fun. I can't wait for next episode to go back to Redcliffe and cure that child of that demon that has possessed his brain. So anyway, thank you for joining me, and I will see you next time.